All right, if you're a user who would like to limit the number of clicks and pop-ups you have related to printing, DX1 does have a solution for you, and we call it direct printing. You do need to install some software. I'm going to speak briefly how to do that, and then you also do need to do some configuration in local settings, and we'll talk about that before we demonstrate it. So, um, one of the things with direct printing that we need to do is I just mentioned install some software which is called the Print Manager. And if you're wondering whether you have Print Manager installed or not, there's a couple ways you can do it. If you come over here to the Forms page, once it loads, you can see here it'll actually tell me to install by Print Manager. Also, if you come up to Local Settings, which is where you'll actually configure direct printing after you installed the Print Manager, if I go to the Direct Printing tab here, it's also going to tell me that I need to install the Print Manager. So we're going to do that. Now I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to, just because of this video, because I am going to install it in live time, um, that you're not going to see some of the installation process. It's a Windows installer. It's a bunch of next, 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 finish type stuff. Okay, and so I'm going to do that. I'm going to click install JS Print Manager. You're going to want to download the latest version, which you can see here. There's a large number listed, but we want version 8, and we want the unified installer for Windows 32, 64-bit. They do have them here in just 32 and just 64, but we recommend downloading this one here. I'm going to click it. It's going to download, which it's doing in the top right of my screen. I can click that. I can go ahead and I can kick off the process to install it. Now, you're probably seeing, oh, there it is. You probably got it back on a different screen right now. I'm installing the process. It happened that quick. I said save, it loaded. I said finish, and now I'm going to be able to close this. And you can see now that my page is updated on direct printing, and now I have a bunch of options I didn't have before. Okay, I'm going to click OK here, and you notice when I come back to my forms page, my install print manager link is gone. So that's how you can tell if it's installed, and then that's how you can tell if you've installed it correctly. Another way to get there if you need to install it is by coming down and clicking install print manager. You can always get to it from that way. Okay, so now we explained earlier how direct printing would impact forms. So let's start there for a minute. If I come back up and I go to local settings, I'm going to go over to direct printing, and then I'm going to check this box that says major unit forms direct printing. And I can decide when the forms auto print, do I want them to show the additional details, which in this case will happen when I add kits or part invoices or service invoices where kits are included. If you want to show those details, toggle this on. If you don't, toggle it off. Once I do that, I can go ahead and click save. And one of the things to understand about direct printing is this is a setting for the machine. That's why it's under local settings and not under your username or some type of dealership or network setting. If you apply these settings here for you as a user, the next user that logs onto this machine will get your same settings that you have. So that's just all this is confirming right here. We'll go ahead and we'll press OK. And at this point, you notice our UI has changed on the forms page. Now I can come in and I can set my default printer. I can say print to my DeskJet, use my default tray. And in this case, it's my bill of sale. I'm going to need one for myself, one to put in the customer's deal jacket, things like that. So I can set that up for each one of the forms. Once I do that, I can hit save and hit OK. Now, one of the main differences you'll also see here is now when I go to print forms compared to before, when I hit my print option, I'm going to see a difference here. And this is where printing form groups can really kick this process off. If I've set up form groups, I can now just say, give me this group and hit print group. And boom, all those forms are going to fly to the printer. I mean, that's just already different from the last process. You would have had to have gone and hit this, and this would have opened it in a PDF, and then you would have had to hit print in a PDF and do all those settings, and now you can just hit print and it goes straight to your printer. If for some reason you do need to still open the form in a PDF, you can still do that. You can click this little PDF icon, which will pull open the form where you can then print manually down here on a custom form. I can go and open it, and again, I could print manually if I need to there. So this is a great tool. It really speeds up the process in the office. I've desked thousands of deals, thousands and thousands of pages of paperwork and signatures. And trust me, when you got them lined up outside your office and you're trying to get people in and out, being able to print forms quickly is really going to help that process. All right, I mentioned you can use this across the dealership under local settings. We also have under direct printing, we have options for parts and for service. Again, if I want to default hide part numbers on my printouts, I can do that. Same thing, hiding details, because again, I'm not going to have the configuration there. And then I can decide what parts of a parts department do I want to apply direct printing. I don't necessarily have to do it for every type of printing function. Maybe I want invoices to still open so I can SMS and email if I need. But when I do a pickup refund, or I'm doing purchase orders, I don't need to see the print pop up just to print it again. I can just have it go to my printer. I can hit save here and nothing else to do after that. In parts and service, once you configure this area, it's just going to start following the settings that you've set up here. And you see in service, you can do the same thing. Maybe when you do job sheets for your techs, you don't want the print preview up, check that box, hit save. Next time you hit the print icon, it'll just fire to your printer. Again, every time I make changes, it's going to remind me that I'm updating settings I've already had and that they're going to be applied to every user that comes to this machine. So that's an easy way. If you don't want to use direct printing at all, you can come back to local settings. You can come to direct printing here, uncheck that box, uncheck any box for parts and settings and service and hit save, update your settings, do an application reset, and you'll be back to where you were before you started using direct printing at all. So again, hopefully that tool, if you want to speed up your process, will save you a lot of time. It's easy to install, easy to configure, and ultimately will save you a lot of clicks.